Oh, well, hello, all you wonderful, beautiful broskies and broskas of Dark Shadow Mavericks, Maverick Nation. And if you're wondering why I'm saying things in either the second or third person, well, what's the point in making sense, anyways? And also, I pretty much invaded his body. I say I have around an hour before he figures out and kicks me out of his body. He's not like normal people. He can actually get rid of me pretty easily. That's right. Here I am. Bill Cipher. Ah, shit, I miscalculated. Should have carried the 2. Damn it. Ugh, Jesus Christ. Ugh. Something about a freaking meat Dorito and a top hat. Jesus frick. Illuminati eye. Hey everybody. I think Bill already said my intro, so. That is one thing he's good for. However, if he ever comes around again, I'm gonna pull a freaking demo man on him and shove that wrench right up his ass. If you don't know what I'm talking about, for shame, you not knowing Team Fortress 2 references. Basically, now, my children, it is time for what if Izuku was Bill Cipher, basically Bill Cipher reincarnation, part 3. Yes. Last time we left off, I believe, it was right after the entrance exam. So we're going to start with the first day of UA. And just letting you guys know right now, Izuku, he has Bill's powers so he can just levitate wherever he wants to go, or just teleport there if he already knows the place. And seeing as they had to go all the way over to UA to take the entrance exam, he does indeed know the place. So, teleportation. It's quick and easy. At least for people like Izuku. And so, Izuku just basically like, flick! Look at the wrist and he's there. Of course, he got prepared first, but, you know, you need to look fashionable on your first day. And if you're wondering what Izuku's hero suit is going to be, like, did he just show up in his hero suit whenever he was taking the entrance exam? Oh, no. I have something very, very, what do you call unique for whenever that's unveiled. So, yeah. What Izuku's hero costume is going to be. Anyways, Izuku walking into the school, coming in towards the UA classroom, but, you know, right as he's about to, you know, get to the door, he passes someone. He recognizes their appearance. They are Midnight. And Izuku's thinking, just great. There have to be staff here. It's couldn't just be separate classes. No, they had to be separate classes funded or founded or whatever by the people freaking UA. As you can tell, Izuku's not too enthusiastic about that whole part of the thing. Anyways, midnight flashes him a little bit of a glare, and Izuku decides to leave it to a little bit of an interpretation as to whether he actually saw that or not, when in all reality he did. But he just wanted to make sure that Midnight didn't know if he did or didn't. So he acted accordingly in order to get this to be possible. He's very good at doing that. Well, basically, whenever Izuku steps in, he sees two people. Four Eyes and Bakugo. Basically, Four Eyes being Ida. He just spots a deer outside the classroom window, which leads to the outside of the school. He just spots a deer out in the distance. He's got very good sight. You just see a deer out in the distance. And so he basically pulls like what Gideon, basically what Bill Cipher did to Gideon in Season 1. Yes. He does that to Ida, only worse. Instead of like handing him some deer teeth, he buries him in a pile of deer teeth. It's a small pile, but it's a pile nonetheless. And, actually, Ida would respond with the same response. Literally telling Izuku he is insane. And Izuku's like, well, thanks for telling me something I already knew, Ida. And Ida's like actually shocked, like, oh, you actually called me by my name? And Izuku's like, because now I have even more of a reason to destroy you. That was if I was a villain. No, heroes more my thing. It's more of a challenge for someone like me who has chaotic powers instead of powers of harmony. Yes, that is a My Little Pony reference. Deal with it. And he is like, so this whole hero thing, it's just a fun challenge to you? So, let me guess, you're not actually in this to be an actual hero. You're just using this for kicks. And he was just like, actually, yes and no. And he was like, wait, what? Yes and no? And, Izuku's just like, what did I say about making sense? Oh, and also, as far as I've seen in this hero society here, most heroes don't really necessarily have to care about their own duties as a hero in order to be heroes. There's some pretty shitty ones out there, trust me. Not pointing out any specific names, just saying that there indeed are some pretty shitty heroes that only, really are in for it for the money or the fame or the fortune or whatever the hell. One of those sins are the same thing as money in a way, but whatever. Remember, What did I say about making sense? Not only is there no fun in it, but there's no point in it. For someone like me. Someone like me, something like this, would mean extra effort. And, well, a challenge. To see if my chaotic powers can be can be kept under control and in the right hands. I could imagine that if enough villains knew about me, they might actually want to go after me in order to recruit me onto their little team. But that's just the thing. The more chances that we can taken, the more fun that can be had. And I'm all about the kicks. All about the kicks. Besides, what's the fun in being bored? That's the only thing that I really would be being on a villain team. It's all the same thing, all the same stupid monologues, all the same, oh, I'll kill you, no, I'll kill you, no, I'll stop you, villain, no, I'll stop you, hero. It's all that same bullshit all the time. However, if you're a hero, you know, basically, being a hero and being a villain are very different in more ways than you could possibly ever think of, Ida. And one of those ways specifically is, well, pretty much my de facto reasoning for wanting to become a hero. Like I said, it's all in the kicks. Being a hero, I can't necessarily get bored. The villains will always have me on my toes. And for that, I gotta thank them. The life of a hero, you're always having to be on the lookout for villains and just people overall that are doing wrong. And that's the kind of life that has all sorts of thrills. So, of course, I would want to be a hero, no matter how chaotic my powers are. And Ida's like, what? And basically, Ochako would actually want to stay away from Izuku. Like, she was informed by Recovery Girl that she was healed by Izuku, but then, Ochako would have informed Recovery Girl. The reason why he healed me is because he literally launched me into a freaking building. So yeah, Ochako would definitely not want to be too close. So I guess just like middle school, that's how everyone, treated him in middle school, all except for Bakugo, because Bakugo's freaking stupid. You a stupid hoe. You a stupid hoe. Oh, that's adorable. If only it was Finn Bakugo, then I really could say stupid hoe. That's good shit. Anyways, as I was like, all of you, Took you way too damn long to shut up. Take these, get into the changing room, put them on, and meet me out of the training field. And then Izuku, right as Ochako is about to ask about orientation, just gets up in front of everybody and it's like, I know what you're about to ask. And if we're really to be good heroes, we shouldn't have to do orientation. They're just gonna hold us back from, actual hero stuff. Orientation is just to make you feel good about yourself or whatever. I don't actually, care about if that's the true definition or not. I just know it's not going to help us in the long run. We can figure out about each other during, the whole process of going through the school year. We don't need a stupid little event like orientation to help us socialize. At least we shouldn't have to have that in order to socialize. People that say they do are literally possibly one of the most weak versions of an actual, person you could ever be. If you need that in order to feel good about yourself and socialize. Or the other way around, or whatever. Peesh? I have all your attention on that? Good. And, Aizawa would be like, damn, this kid is good. About knowing what's good, and also being able to scare the shit out of every single other classmate there. That's not him. They look like they're shaking in their boots. They don't even have boots, at least most of them don't. As I can tell. But, Izuku, as like everybody else, does what he always says. Basically, they get the uniform and, go into the men and women standing rooms, respectively. And, well, Kirishima really doesn't have much to say about Izuku's bod because Izuku doesn't really need a bod for the kind of shit that he does. Like, why do you need a freaking bod whenever you can mess and morph with reality however you want to? And so, yeah. That's the thing. And so basically, when Mineta spotted, the whole peephole thing, Izuku just creates a Bill Cipher eye in the peephole, and it scares Mineta shitless. And then he basically shoots some sort of beam through the Bill Cipher eye that welds the whole hole shut. Never to be used as a peephole again. At least not while he's around. He's around. And Mineta would just be like, you're sort of demon. And Izuku would just be like, demon? You want to know what a demon's like? Let's play ball then. And then everyone else would just have to, freaking be like, whoa, 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 chill, 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 chill. Jesus. Like, good God. Izuku was just about to burn that guy to cinders. And so, yeah, there's that. And if you're wondering what happened with the deer teeth, They were put back in the deer's mouths. You know, Izuku isn't that much of a monster. Even though he just tried to burn someone alive. You know, Mineta, the excuse is always Mineta's a pervert, so he deserved it. So, yeah. They said whenever they all get out there, everybody gets their score as they got in canon. Except for Izuku. Like, Izuku gets, like, a real high score on everything. And then we come to the ball throw, which I'm going to make the last thing that happens here. I'm going to make this the last thing that happens, actually, the ball throw. When we get to the ball throw, Izuku's like, I'm bored. I'm going to have some fun with this. And he just chooses, like, to get out his pocket watch and create a radius of up to basically the entire Milky Way galaxy. Why the entire Milky Way galaxy? Well, basically after creating the vortex with the stopwatch, he just flies out there, and since like everything is stopped, there's no real oxygen effect, so he can't really die from lack of oxygen. And so he would just fly out, all the way out into the middle of space, and he would find, the fifth rock from the sun. Yeah, that's right, the fifth rock from the sun. Instead of the third rock from the sun, the fifth rock from the sun. That being, well, after Mars, which is after Earth, the third rock from the sun, making Mars the fourth, we got Jupiter. And, well, let's just say, as a little present for whatever actual, like, sentient life that may be on Jupiter, it just lays it on top. You know, just close enough to where it'd be stuck in Jupiter's orbit. You know, Izuku basically would teleport straight back to where, you know, the circle or triangle or whatever freaking shape. Actually, if I want to do this, I'm gonna do something freaking insane. Like it was originally a square. Let's say it was originally a square that you had to be inside when you were throwing. He turns it into a triangle before he restarts time. Like, and he even pulls JoJo reference and says, "Time resumes." Literally, he's like, he can't contain himself. Whenever Aizawa actually picks up what the hell is going on with his freaking phone, and he actually like uses some of UA's satellite technology, because of course, like with Principal Netsu's supposedly being the smartest being on the planet, like of course they would have some sort of satellite technology near the area. And basically uses one of UA's satellites, and, you know, to basically find the heat signature of the ball. And it actually, basically, as I was like, they should actually call that a cold signature, considering what I'm picking up. From the last bit of heat that's left. And he actually ends up getting a picture of where the ball ended up. And, you know, I saw it being like, what the hell? Izuku, I think you got infinity and beyond. Kojaku got infinity, but no, he's like, Izuku, you probably got like infinity and beyond. And like the class are all like, why the hell is that? And basically, Aizawa just shows them all the picture of where the ball ended up. And they're like, they all just, in like unison, say, Jupiter! And Aizawa was like, more specifically, Jupiter's orbit. Because it technically can't stick to Jupiter, considering there's no, like, all that much gravity there. So really, it's more or less stuck to Jupiter's orbit. So, yeah, basically, after everything that quirk apprehension test is done and over with, we now have the after-school classes that Izuku's supposed to head over to. Like a special, like a teacher's lounge building. Like, during school hours, it's used as a teacher's lounge, but during these, like, after-school hours, it's used as, like, a room for, like, special classes. And, well, the only special class that they seem to come up with is, well, the class that Midnight said she'd be teaching. Which, unaware to anyone, and mostly even Principal Netsu also, there's only one student. That being Izuku Midoriya. You know, Midnight would just be looking at her little, not really little, but big old whiteboard, and, you know, basically it would have a lot of stuff about her, you know, one and only student written on it, including the name of his quirk, and everything that it can do, basically allow him to do, you know, as of now, like, what she knows that it can allow him to do, as of now. She doesn't know how much this quirk is going to evolve, or if it's met its peak, which, no, it has not. It's far from its peak. But, you know, Midnight, nobody really knows what the peak is. For Izuku's, you know, quirk's actual power. And, well, she looks at the name of the quirk. Izuku's Cipher. And, well, Midnight just hears a door open and close behind. And Midnight's just like, oh, Izuku, you finally made it. Early. And Izuku's like, wait, early? I'm early? Wow. That's weird. But I guess, we can spend a little bit more time with each other now that I'm early to class. And Midnight's just like, what kind of dirty thoughts are in your head, child? Let me look up Midnight's name. Gotta do that again. Namuri Kayama. I see. Basically, Izuku's like, you know, a little bit more, you know, time to ourselves. Kayama-chan. And, you know, basically, freaking Nemuri would just be like, what the hell did you just say? And she'd literally be like, freaking losing her shit. Like, did you just freaking call me Kayama-chan? What the frick? And, she'd just be like, never do that again. You are my student, I am your teacher, and this is a deal I gotta win. And Izuku would just be like, okay, bet. And, Nemuri would just be like, Nemuri being mid-90, would just be like, oh, okay then. Let's start with your most basic power. Old deal thing. You seem to mix it up with another power, something to do with souls. Yeah, I'm thinking you're gonna have to regulate that to special occasions. And Izuku's like, that's easier said than done with my powers. At midnight, like, Nemuri would just be like, and that's why we're here. Doing this right now. But then, like, basically, someone would basically barge into their class after, like, a while of them talking to each other, trying to figure out how to fix a couple problems with different abilities that involve Izuku's quirk. Basically, the person that barges in is freaking Mirio Togata, one of the big three. And a massive All Might fan by the looks of it. And Mirio was just like, sorry, miss. Sorry, ma'am, but we have big news. Really big news. Super duper important. Very super duper important. And, well, Nemuri would just be like, how big could it possibly be to be a reason to interrupt my class? And, Mirio would just be like, the miracle hero has come back from the whole villain rehabilitation program thing. Yeah, apparently something went wrong and now the program's being shut down. So basically, the miracle hero doesn't have to be back there anymore. And also, he's bringing his friend. And Nemuri would just be like, that guy have a friend? Don't make me laugh. And Izuku, with his vast knowledge of heroes and, everything and shit, would just be like, wait, the miracle hero. The miracle hero is Gideon. And Mirio would just be like, how do you know the miracle hero's real name? And Nemuri would also want to know, like, how the hell do you know his real name? And he was just like, well, the guy working with the miracle hero is my dad, Dipper Pines. related to basically Ford Pines and Stan Pines, basically. And, well, Mary would be like, and this is important, why? And Murray would just be like, Miriam, it's important because those names, oh my god, no way in hell. Your father, holy shit. No wonder you are the way you are. And he's usually like, hey, what the hell are you talking about? And, well, Nimuri would just have something that she wanted to talk to Izuku privately about. You know, in the classroom closet, Miria being like, oh god, are they gonna do 7 minutes in heaven? Well, I guess that meant that my whole coming here was completely and utterly pointless. Basically, you know, the two of them going in the closet and Izuku being like, okay, so what's so important we need to be in the closet? And, well, Midnight, she'd be like, well, the whole Pines thing? You ever heard of a place called Gravity Falls? He's just like, actually, yes, I have heard of that. It was once around before, but that it may or may not still be around. Most people merely just think of it as a myth. The whole entire Mystery Shack basically made to attract tourists with mystical items and creatures of grandeur. As far as the eye can see in the Mystery Shack of Gravity Falls. And, you know, Nimuri, whatever the frick her name, basically would come clean and be like, and that's just the thing. Basically, she would just spill everything that we already know about the whole thing with Ford and Bill and, well, the entire Pines family and everything that happened with Weird Mageddon and how there actually are some believers that none of that was fake. It actually did happen. And that's a reason, you know, basically the aftermath, that's a reason that some of the things that happened actually happened. And, well, after hearing everything that, you know, Nimeri basically, you know, just lays onto him, Izuku would be like, shit. You were talking about that triangular being. Bill Cipher. The powers that I have. They're ridiculously similar to the ones that you described Bill having. And my father being a Pines. And the girl you said sacrificed herself. Mabel Pines. I remember that name in our family. Mabel Pines. This is all leading up to what I think it's leading up to. No wonder the struggle is so real within inside myself. Whoever's inside there definitely does not want me to become a hero using these powers. definitely don't want me using these powers to become a hero. And I believe I know who's in there inside of me. Bill Cipher. If you can hear me, doesn't matter what you do. I will become a hero with these powers. You have no dominion over me. It's actually quite the other way around, now that I think about it. Every power that you've lost during the time which you're inside of me, I've gained. And some of those powers, possibly most of them, if not all of them by now, I've made improvements on. So really, what do you actually think you can do? I'm not afraid of you, and I don't have a mind that's just freely manipulatable. Sure, I may not have known of certain important things like the whole Pines family secrets and all. That doesn't exactly mean like I'm going to be easily manipulatable, like everyone else you've done that to. So Bill Cipher, if you can hear me, I'm not going to be your plaything. We're either in this together, or I'm just going to have to shut you out completely except for whenever I need your power to help someone in need. And that's whenever a voice would just come all the way around the room, as basically it would just cause, Nimue/Midnight to just grab Izuku and start running for the hills, smashing straight into Mirio, and them all falling to the ground. With Izuku being the first one to be able to get up, realizing the voice. They heard something, almost like whatever this, creature's voice belongs to, that creature is Bill. And that's whenever what could be heard from everyone, basically everyone could hear. Wow! I'm glad you got it so fast, kiddo! You got it! Plus, you got balls of steel. Saying what you're saying. But I can probably tell that you're freaking right as can be, sadly. Or at least that's what the old me would have said. He's like, what do you mean the old you? And Bill would just be like, well, after everything that happened, considering that Dipper did what he did, got him landed into juvie, right about until he was the age of 18, and Mabel, what she did, ended up getting her killed. Well, let's just say, maybe it's for the best that your father actually found a friend. Too bad it was the guy who his hair is basically bigger. His due is bigger than his freaking head. I guess that's one thing me and your Grunkle Stan could agree on. Never trust someone that their hairdo is bigger than their head. And also, don't trust, geometrical demons of the mindscape with your life. If you know what I mean. And Izuku's like, you forgot the one-eyed part. And Bill is just like, kid, I think something inside of you is blocking me from appearing. Besides, even if I were to appear, I couldn't hurt anyone you didn't want me to. Like you said, you're the one who has dominion over me. And Izuku actually is checking this, and Kind of like Santa Claus checking his list and checking it twice, you know. And Bill Cipher is actually telling the truth. He's telling the truth that he has no power over Izuku. And so anyone that he didn't want him to hurt, he couldn't hurt. And, well, basically, that would mean that Izuku would feel free to basically, you know, safely, actually, you know, the hell, the whole thing that Gideon was doing in the season 1 that summoned Bill Cipher. Basically what Gideon was saying over and over again, it's backwards for backwards message. And basically, if you play that backwards, that little clip of, you know, Gideon doing the chanting, if you play it backwards, it says backwards message, backwards message, backwards message. Yeah, the creators of Gravity Falls are a bunch of cheeky bastards, aren't they? Anyways, it's not my show, not my business, I guess. Anyways, basically, yeah, Izuku would be doing the chanting, and, you know, Nemuri would kind of be like, what the hell are you doing? I thought we were supposed to use this to help you with your problems, not make more. And Miriam would be like, I second that notion. Please stop. And that's whenever Izuku would stop, but not because Mirio told him to. I mean, to be quite honest, Izuku, this version of Izuku, you know, kind of thinks Mirio is extremely annoying. And so would probably want to kick his ass the first chance he gets. Just to shut him up. For once. So, yeah. Basically, what they would now realize floating above their heads, like Mirio and Midnight, they would basically realize a triangle with a top hat, and one eye, and a bow tie, and arms and legs that lead to hands and feet. And, well, basically it would just be like, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, has it been a long time stuck in there. Now, don't get me wrong, I can't actually hurt any of you. No matter how badly we both want to punch that guy in the face. You know, pointing at Mirio. And Mirio's like, what the hell did I do? And, you know, Bill would just be like, nothing except for the fact that we both find you extremely annoying. And, well, in that, we kinda find that as a reason to want to punch you in the face. And, you know, Nimue or Midnight or whatever the hell you decide to call her, she'd be like, so how exactly does this work, Izuku? You did some chanting, and a weird circle appeared around you, and then there was a bunch of fire, and an explosion of white light that just went into darkness until our vision returned again. And now this guy's here? Is this the actual Bill Cipher? And Izuku's like, well, everything he's said till now has basically pointed to it being the case. And Bill Cipher even comments on the whole deer teeth thing, doing what he did to Gideon, to Ida, that he thought that was hilarious. Like, even if it could technically be considered an abuse of his own powers, he didn't really care because he was just too busy laughing his ass off at Ida's expense. And Izuku's just like, actually, I don't think I'm really the one that needs to be taking your classes, Midnight. I think it's more or less my friend here. It's a little common shit. I more or less just do what I do for kicks, but not to the level in which he decides what are and aren't kicks. In other words, I just do it to have fun in a way that really doesn't destruct anything except for, well, possible scarring upon the life of the person I influence. But it's really not all that much whenever you go to think about it. Anyone who have ever, pranked or influenced in any way, they still come back, not nearly as scarred as whenever this guy pulls his shit. So more or less, he would probably be the one that you would need to put on a leash. But, actually, I can do that for you. And he just whips out a leash and be like, Bill is just like, the frick are you doing? And there's just a collar around Bill, and Bill is just like, what is this? What is this bullshit? And he's just like, this is your punishment. Being a douche. And Bill is just like, and then all of a sudden, ow, what the hell was that? I didn't even see that. What the hell was that? And then he's just like, every time you act like a douche, that's gonna happen to you. The more and more douchey the action is, the more and more it's going to hurt. And Bill is just like, so this is like a penalty collar or some shit? And he's just like, rightio. Oh, and don't think that just because you can use chaos magic, that you can reverse this on me. Because technically, seeing as you're my quirk, I could just, double reverse anything you throw at me. And also, possibly, if I felt like it, deplete your powers even more than I already am at the rate that I'm growing. And Bill is just like, please, no, none of that. Just keep it at a steady pace that you're growing right now. I don't need any more worse pain than I already go through whenever that happens to me. Whenever you deplete my powers, it hurts. And Izuku's like, oh, well, nice to know. I don't know exactly how it could possibly hurt. Like, it's just you losing some of your magical powers. It's not like I'm actively, stabbing you or something. It's something that could actually hurt you. And Bill is like, I don't think you get it. The way that spell was used on me all those years ago, whenever you take away my powers, the spell, it kind of goes haywire. And whenever that happens, basically, the pain was afflicted on, well, I guess you could consider her your dead aunt. The pain that was inflicted on her before she died because of the spell, it's like several times folded upon me every time I lose more of my power to you. Just because of the way the spell works. And I think she did it that way on purpose. Considering that you being a child you wouldn't actually really know the scope of what's going on. Either that or you really just wouldn't care. It all sucks. You know that? It all sucks big. And Izuku's like, wait. Seeing as I summoned you here, and Mabel took her own life just to get rid of yours, for the time being, and now you're here in the physical world with the rest of us, couldn't we also find Mabel in the physical world? Or at least her spirit? And, well, you know, at least if we're able to do that, we could, you know, have a party where we all reunite. Finally, Dad could be, you know, with his sister again after so long of not being with, you know, how that's disrupted his life the way it has. In recent memory of what happened that day. And Bill's like, oh, it has. That's just adorable sounding. And then all of a sudden, okay, I'll stop being a douche. Ow, that hurt. A lot. No, basically, Izuku's just like, actually, yeah, I think I am going to do that. Wherever she is, well, we're going to find her. Even if it means we have to go back to Gravity Falls to find her spirit. If it's stuck in the midst of the seance circle that was used with the magic spell, that's where it is, we'll just have to go back to the seance circle. And Bill's just like, damn it, in this form I couldn't actually use the seance circle to influence, you know, my form and bring me back to my former glory. All because of this kid, I'm now stuck like this. And then all of a sudden, ow! Okay. At least, if I hope, you know, to not be hurt anymore in the future by you, or whatever's going on here, to deal with a spell, I guess you really would have to give me classes. And he's just like, I'm learning how to be nice, and not, you know, a total asshole. Bill's like, yes, I'm learning how to be nice and not a total asshole. Fine, you got me to say it. And then just like, ow, what the hell did I do that time? And then Izuku's just like, being a grumpy pants over, you know, something that you should be happy about. Finally being able to not be such a jerk. I mean, how basically do the minds of jerks work? Like, only being happy, you know, because of the misery of others that you cause? That's a terrible existence. I mean, such a shallow way of bringing yourself joy. How could you ever live like that? And Bill's like, what do you mean, a shallow way? Are you calling my motives for doing what I've done for trillions of years shallow? And he was like, so what if I am? Bill? And Bill's just like, tell me, why are they shallow? I want to know. No, seriously, I want to know. Tell me why my reasons are shallow. Or are you just another goody two-shoes that preaches to the high heavens for safety while others are forced to watch in fear of my own prowess of destruction. At least that's how it used to be. And Izuku's just like, and 3, 2, and Bill would be like, no. And I take it back up, I take it back up, I take it. And then 1. Ow! Again! What the hell? That hurt! Okay, I'll listen. Jesus! And Izuku would just be like, thank you. Well, if you think about it, if you actually use your whole one-dimensional mind to think about it for 1 solid second, or at least a couple more, in order to, have it ironclad. I mean, really. Basically, you cause the person's life to be a living hell, and, well, you get your jollies out of it while it lasts, and, well, and there's nothing else. Of course, it could have long-lasting effects on the person's life, so you could go back to see how they're doing, and if it's still causing them grief, and see if you get even more jollies out of that, but most likely what you would get is, a feeling of almost like, what's the purpose of even doing it in the first place? I mean, it's just more of the same. It's constant monotony. It's the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. It's the pure definition of insanity, Bill. Doing something over and over again, expecting a different outcome. And Bill's like, so what's your point? I am insane. I admit it. I mean, what's this? What's the actual point in making sense? Plus, whenever you have an entire freaking multiverse of different beings to make suffer, the fun really never ends. And then Izuku would be like, and that is where you're also wrong. It will end. It may not end for quite some time, but eventually you will become alone again. And I sense that your original reason for destroying your original universe is because you were bored. Think of how bored you would be after you had basically put every other single universe in endless monotony of despair so that there was nothing left. No more despair to cause. No more lives to ruin. And even if you tried building a world, which I know you can do, the worlds are more or less constructs of your own mind, so you'd only be causing yourself misery if you tried to create a world like that. Not unless you plan on somehow regaining your physical form, but even then, I'm pretty damn sure that your whole happy fun time will be pretty short-lived, as basically everything you stand for as of now fades off into obscurity. Because basically all of your happy fun time is more or less a fad. And fad is one letter away from fade. And that's all it will ever do, so long as you ever exist to cause this kind of power. Destruction onto others. Now, do you see why I say these things? And Bill is just like, damn, kid, your words hit like knives. Actual knives that could actually hurt me. And he's just like, wait, what? You actually... And Bill's like, well, more or less, as you were flipping your lip, during the time in which you were flipping your lip, looking into your eyes, a reflection of that last moment, making the ultimate sacrifice to get rid of the ultimate evil. Someone being so selfless in order to free everyone else from the wrath of a true evil. How can you people be so selfless? I know there's so many selfish people in the world, but I don't get the fact that there are selfless people in the world. I don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense. I can't figure it out. It's not fair. Why can't I figure it out? Why you people are selfless? Why you even do those things? Whenever you know all it's going to do is cause you misfortune. I don't get it. And Izuku's like, and that's exactly where the problem lies. Bill, would you like to make a deal? And Bill's like, huh? Well, we can both do it. The power of the deal. And don't worry, it has nothing to do with whatever left of a soul you have left after all the people you've killed and all the lives you've ruined. It would have nothing to do with your soul. Or at least that's what you would think. It turns out it kind of does, but it also kind of doesn't. Here's the way I'll explain it. The deal it's pretty straightforward if you think about it. And Bill's like, think about what? What deal? And he's just like, well, Mr. Hothead over here, let's say you seem to be so distressed over not being able to figure out why there are selfless people in the world and why they do what they do. What's the reason for them even to be selfless? Can't figure any of that out. You know so much, you see so much, but you can still never figure out the selflessness of people that are willing to come together. You mind being my partner so that I can help you figure out the true meaning of why selflessness is selflessness? That you can figure out the riddle, the seemingly unsolvable riddle? You say you killed all of those people because of their flat lives, their flat everything, their flat dreams, flat everything, flat minds, flat everything. Everything was flat, so you burned them all, even your own parents. Normally I wouldn't be able to forgive someone for something like that, but you're different. I know from the fact of what it was like whenever last moments with you and Mabel, I know that you're savable. And in helping you figure out about the secret to selflessness, the secret of selflessness as it is, me helping you figure it out, I'm willing to help you do that. Figure the secret to selflessness, the secret of selflessness, that you've always been so far from actually figuring out the truth of it all. I'm willing to help you. There has to be some reason that I was given the opportunity to use your powers for good. There has to be some reason why I can actually summon you and you be controllable. Don't you think, Bill? Don't you think that there would be a purpose to all of that? In other words, why do you think that a chance was even given for you to even return in the first place? Why do you think, Bill, that this opportunity was spread upon us? Almost like it was meant to be. Maybe, just maybe, Bill, it is meant to be. So, you shake my hand, I'll help you. But, like with all deals, even the ones you made, there's always something in return. And Bill would just be like, and what would that be? When I know what I'm getting into, what I'm in for. Izuku's just like, you'll know once you find out the secret. Trust me, you'll know what the catch is. Quite possibly, you might not find the catch to it all that bad. And Bill's just like, with a look on Izuku's face whenever he said that there, just like with Midnight, whenever they made their deal, Bill is just like, this is a deal that he cannot risk, having escape from his hands. So, Bill is just like what Izuku said to Midnight, bet. And so Izuku and, Bill Cipher, deal. And once these two different blue flames meet as the deal in between the two sides of Bill's power, a side that despite the chaotic potential still wants to do good, and a side that basically can't really figure out how others can do good. And those two sides meeting, well, basically, I mentioned about Izuku's hero costume. Bill actually thinking that if the kid's willing to promise him something that, he'll definitely want to get us a prize, which is why he didn't tell him what it actually was, and wanted for him to wait until, well, that part, the other part of the deal was done. If the kid's like that, if the kid's that powerful in order to be able to do that, something like that, then they just might be the literal one. Bill's thinking to himself, we'll just say, hey kid, don't heroes usually wear like freaking weird ass costumes? And Izuku's just like, oh, you mean hero costumes? Yeah. All my has always said the clothes make the pros. Bill Cipher's just like, the clothes make the pros, eh? Well, I can tell that what you were wearing whenever you were taking the test was your standard wear. So, no point in trying to make that into some sort of weird-ass hero costume. how about we go even further? The first step to my end of the deal, now I got pretty much roped into whenever I shook your hand. I'll help you in the way of, well, let's just say, Bill Cipher plus suitcase equals clothes, make the pros. And Izuku would just be like, no way in hell. And Bill's just like, I can wait. Trust me, I'm like trillions of years old. I can be very patient whenever I want to be. So, also, I don't think it's going to be very far, like very, in the future, whenever you'll actually need me. Well, not necessarily me, but, the whole clothes make the pros thing. And Izuku's just like, damn, Bill. You have a hard bargain. And I accept. And Bill's just like, well, let me see here. He just opens the interdimensional portal, pulls out one of the suitcases, and just like, and it has your name on it. So, if I remember the combination correctly, here, it's 4 digits. So, and a click. Where's the click? Oh, it's stuck. Shit. I guess, a little shoulder check. And like, boom! Just like pops open, smacks Bill in the face, and into a wall. And just like, well, that's not nearly as painful as all the other shit that's happened to me today. So, God, good God. Well, it's a good thing that being one-dimensional means I'm extra foldable. It gives me a lot of extra room while I'm in this little suitcase. And also, not technically being in a physical form means I can do things that no physical being probably would be able to even comprehend. Like closing the suitcase from the inside. And actually, Izuku actually watches as one of Bill's arms extends out and grabs the zipper and closes suitcase from the inside. Basically, as soon as it's closed, the combination resets, and so basically, the combination will just have to be redone again whenever it's time. But Bill is just like in there and enjoying himself, like in his own little mindscape, just to make sure he doesn't die of boredom while he's waiting. And if you guys are wondering what the hell is actually going on and why Bill volunteered to go into the suitcase, well, you guys must be pretty slow on my thought process, but I don't expect any of you to be mind readers, so I guess that can become to be expected. Bill's gonna be Izuku's hero costume. Yes, that's right. Which means the Heroes vs. Villains mock battles, the USJ, whichever other event in the anime they use hero costumes, will basically Izuku controlling Bill Cipher. Basically Bill Cipher just giving away his entire body functions for Izuku to use as he's inside of Bill. Much more or less, making Bill an actual very, viable, type of hero suit. Because literally he's suiting up in Bill Cipher. This is the first kind act that Bill's actually done. And so therefore, instead of sending a sensation of pain through Bill actually begins to feel he feels something he doesn't seem to understand. It's another one of those lovey-dovey emotions. But instead of feeling perplexed and overall frustrated, feels happy. And then Bill's just like, inside of the mindscape, he's just like, why do I feel happy? Why should I feel happy? But I can't resist. I just want to merge with it, like with some sort of fluffy pillow. It feels good. Feels welcoming. Is this what it feels like to receive a gift that you never thought you would actually want, but whenever you get it, you know you want? Like a literal gift that you would never thought you would have actually wanted until it was right in front of your face. And then, that very time, that's whenever you want it the most of all. And of every other time where you didn't really felt like you wanted it. Is this what it feels like to go through that kind of sensation? For so long, I didn't actually feel like I needed anything. But this fluffy thing, whatever it is, what do the humans call them? Plushies? It looks like Mabel's pig. How the hell would Izuku know what waddles like? He used one of my powers, didn't he? And I know this is a plushie of Waddles. There's no other pig like Waddles. Damn it, I cannot believe I just now said that. Damn it, I'm snuggling with Waddles. There's a plushie version of him. But he's so damn cute. Well, I'm gonna be in here for a while. Might as well get used to the comfort zone. Good night, Waddles. Sweet dreams, Waddles. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Or in this case, the suitcase bugs. Again. But this time for real. Good night, Waddles. And basically, that's where this part's gonna end up, with Bill Cipher freaking snuggled up against a plushie of Waddles that just spontaneously appeared, like, inside of the hero costume suitcase that Izuku had. And the last thing that Bill notices before he drifts off to sleep is a little tag that says, from Izuku Midoriya Pines. And then it says, to Bill Cipher. And it even has a little heart on it. And it's the way Mabel would draw hearts. So ridiculously dorky, but also ridiculously cute. And that's whenever just fully, warmly embracing, it would just come all naturally to Bill, and just go night-night. And I wonder what Meat Doritos dream of. We figured out what Electric Sheep dream of, but when are we ever going to figure out what Meat Doritos dream of? But to be more specific, One-Eyed Meat Doritos. Yes, when will we ever figure out what the one-eyed meat Dorito known as Bill Cipher, one-eyed meat Dorito, one-eyed top hat heron, bow tie wearing, one-eyed meat Dorito known as Bill Cipher dreams of? Who knows? Anyways, Alzia, the frick, I just freaking, I think I forgot how I actually pulled up the name. Shit. Anyways, yes, Alzia, Dallas is the Dark Shadow. I'm so you out here, you boys. Like, favorite, subscribe, ring that little bell, something in the comment section. And, well, seeing as I'm gonna pull a little bit of a fast one and try to do the Rainbow Dash one after this, like directly after I get all this sorted out. No other things to comment on. No comment.